Hello and welcome to another episode of Hawthorne Law TV. My name is Jim Hart and I am the founder and chief attorney here at Hawthorne Law. And today I want to talk to you about what it means to be a general partnership. A general partnership is very similar in nature to a sole proprietorship, which I talked about in the last video, except a general partnership is operated by two or more individuals. A general partnership, or simply a partnership, is an association of two or more people carrying on a business with the goal of earning a profit. A partnership is viewed as being one and the same as its owners. There is little formality involved in creating a partnership. So for example, let's say that you and your best friend, who is not your spouse, decide that you want to start selling business products on Amazon, for example. If you don't elect a formal business entity, then you basically have formed what's called a general partnership, and you may not even know it. Now, there are some legal protections in place if you don't have a formal agreement in place, which I highly do recommend. And that is going to depend on the state in which you live. There is something called the Uniform Partnership Act, which has been adopted by all of the states with the exception of Louisiana. Or there's also a revised Uniform Partnership Act, which is an updated version of that was adopted in 1997. And then that has been adopted by 37 states. So you're going to need to check and see if your state has actually adopted the revised Uniform Partnership Act or the regular Uniform Partnership Act. Now, there are some advantages, of course, and disadvantages to maintaining your status as a partnership or a general partnership. And the biggest advantage to you is going to be that it is inexpensive to start up, and there is no, again, formal documents that you need to file with anybody in your state. Now, with the general partnership, each partner is going to report their share of the income and losses from the partnership on their personal tax return. And it's not necessary, again, to draft a partnership agreement to form a partnership, but we highly recommend that you do it because of the informal nature of this entity. Now, there are also a lot of disadvantages to forming a general partnership. The biggest disadvantage being that you might be in a partnership and you may not even know that you're in a partnership. In addition, just like with a sole proprietorship, you can be held personally liable for business debts, and sometimes, in some situations, this can actually be worse than a sole proprietorship because you may not have personally incurred the debt. It could be incurred by your partner, or you may not have even known it existed, and you can still be held liable for the debts of your partner. So without a partnership agreement in place, you can see how you can really be subject to virtually unlimited personal liability for the debts and liabilities of your business. Another thing to consider is if your partner does something or hurts somebody or that you weren't aware of, again, you could be held personally liable for that without having a partnership agreement in place or some other legal protection. So again, the question comes up, is a general partnership a smart idea? And I would say rarely it is. Without a partnership agreement in place, especially, you're going to need to rely on the Uniform Partnership Act or the revised Uniform Partnership Act, depending on your jurisdiction. But we still will discourage our clients from proceeding with a general partnership without a formal agreement in place. But even with a formal agreement in place, you still could be subjected to personal liability for your share of the debts of the partnership. So we do strongly encourage you to talk to an attorney if you have questions about these issues. I want to thank you for watching today. If you do have any questions about what type of business entity to form for your online business, or if you'd like to know more about how to protect your business online with a partnership or something else, you can check us out at www.hawthornelaw.net. Once again, my name is Jim Hart, and I want to thank you again for watching today.